Hello lovely. This week we are looking at the double crochet. We've previously looked at how to hold our hook, how to hold our yarn, working on tension, slip knot, single crochet, half double crochet, and if you haven't looked at those videos yet or you would like a refresh, please check the links below. I'll link them there. Because today I'm not really going to be touching on making chains or anything like that. I'm just going to have expected that you have watched the previous video. Okay, so let's get started straight away with our double crochet. But before I do that, actually, let me just point out one wee thing, and that is that I'm using US terminology. I know I have a Scottish accent, but I use US terms because that's how I learned. The only difference with the UK and US terms are just the names themselves. The actual action is the same. So if you are in the UK and you use UK terminology, we are talking about a treble crochet today. That's all you need to know. In all of my patterns, I have US terms noted as the main instruction, but I always have a conversion and piece of information in them, so if you are following along, regardless of what type of terminology you're using, it should be featured in the pattern, and if you're in doubt, always ask. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to make my turn and chain, and this time instead of chaining one, I'm going to chain two. Okay, now you might find in a pattern this time it will tell you that it does count as a stitch or it doesn't count as a stitch. So today I'm going to change from what I've been telling you before, and I'm going to count these two chains as a stitch, as a double crochet stitch, because they are roughly the same height. So I've turned my work, I've got my two chains here, and they're sitting on top of the first stitch from the previous row. So that means I'm going to skip this first stitch because I'm going to pretend that these two imposters are a double crochet. So you'll remember from last time that we made a half double crochet, and the difference between a single crochet and a half double crochet was that you have to yarn over before you insert your hook. So we do exactly the same. Start as a half double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook into the second stitch, because the first one has the chains instead. Insert, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook. So far we're just the same as the half double crochet from last time. Yarn over, but this time we're not pulling through all 3, we're pulling through 2. And then we're going to yarn over and grab the yarn, pull through, this time 2 more, and that's us completed our double crochet. And you can see it's a little bit holier, a little bit longer, a little bit gappier, and that means it's a quicker stitch to work up. So you can decide, do you want a dense fabric with not a lot of holes, or do you want a quicker to work up stitch that's going to have a little bit more holes? So you can decide that. So we're going to do our next stitch. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2 of them, yarn over again and pull through the next 2. That's us completed our next double crochet. Okay, we'll insert again, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 on the hook, yarn over and pull through the other 2. I've now completed 3 double crochets, plus I've got this pretend one that's made up of chains at the start. Okay, let's do number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Insert, I yarn over and insert, pull up a loop, 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2 of them, yarn over and pull through 2. Watch what's happening with my hook again. Watch what's happening with the tension on the working yarn. Remember, always the hook is pointing away when it's at rest. The is working towards you when it's working. Yarn over, insert, pull through, 2 and 2. Now I'm going to stop and just count my stitches, and you can help me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got how many more? 3. Okay. Yarn over, insert, make sure that your hook has gone through both parts of the V. Pull up a loop, 3 on your hook, pull through 2 of them, pull through 2. 2 more to go. And that's 1. And that's the trickiest part, is to see it here. So what I tend to do is just pull them apart so you can see where the gap is. And we're done. Let's just make sure we've got 12. At the start, I would always recommend, when you're learning, to count each row just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're ready to do the next row, and remember, we have to chain 2. You might find in some patterns that they talk about chaining 3. Certainly in some of my patterns I tell you to chain 3 instead, and that's just to give you a little bit more space to work in when you turn your work. But as we're starting out just now, we're just going to stick with chain 2. It's the easiest one to work and remember. So I've chain 2, turn your work, let's get going. Just follow along. And remember, practice, practice, practice makes progress. We are not aiming for perfection. We are aiming for progress. You want the satisfaction of saying, I made that myself. And if you are making something like a little sample like I am, where you've got your different stitches on it, it's a nice little memory of when you started learning. You can put it in your memory box or on your wall or somewhere where you can look back on it when you are an expert crocheter. Or you can just wear it, make it into a scarf, a cushion, a cloth, lots of different blanket. If you wanted to make it really huge, you might get a bit fed up with the same stitch all the time in a blanket. I would recommend doing a small project to start. Okay, so we've made our 2 rows of double crochet, and you can see the height differences now that they are in the rows. I'll turn it sideways so you can see better. Single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet. So you can see that they're much taller, and that's why they work quicker. So if you're wanting to make a quick project, this is your stitch, and from this stitch comes a multitude of more stitches, so it opens the world up to you, because if you can do these, you can crochet anything. So I would definitely be practicing this one. There's so many variations once you get the hang of it. So in the next lesson we will talk about how to increase. Maybe you're wanting to make it a different shape, and then we'll talk about decreasing and how to work it into a round circle. Maybe you're making a hat or a snood or a headband, so we'll show you how to work it into a circle. So those are coming up in the next lessons. What you could even do with this is you could make it into a scarf by repeating these stitches, two rows of single, 2 rows of half double, 2 rows of double, and then you'll end up with a lovely texture. Okay, I'm going to leave it there just now. Thanks for watching again. I hope you found it useful. If you have, please let me know in the comments, and I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all the other things as normal that everybody always tells you to do. It will help me reach more crocheters and beginners if you do that. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye, lovely.